Okay, looks like we're live. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Hope everyone is having a great day today. If you don't know me already for some crazy reason, just kidding. My name is Ryan McCrary. I'm the CEO and founder of McCrary Financial Solutions, where we provide financial solutions to the African American community through financial literacy, entrepreneurship, and digital marketing. Do me a favor right now, if you're watching this on replay, please type the word replay down at the bottom. Let me know you watched it. Let me know your name. Let me know who you are, your name, and where you're from. And if you have a business, what your business is, and drop the link to your business. We're joined with a very, very special guest today. One of my good brothers, a great friend that I have, made a friendship with recently. A good brother. I'll bring him on in 1 second. 1 second, but it's something I want to read to everybody first. I was talking with this brother. We met in Atlanta. We spoke previously, but we actually got to meet in Atlanta in person. We sat down, we broke bread. I consider him my OG, and he's come here today to share some great tips with you guys. So I'm going to read this first. He's a certified financial coach. His name is Douglas Barnes, and I'll bring him on in 1 second. But he's just shared with me some interesting retirement statistics. Some interesting retirement statistics. I see a few people jumping on. What's going on, Derek? What's going on, Edward Gallen? How you guys doing? Especially for people like Derek. Derek, that's another one of my OGs here in Philly. This really pertains to him because it speaks to not just the baby boomers, but also the Gen X who will be next to retire, and then the millennials. I'm a millennial. By the time I retire, ain't gonna be nothing left in Social Security or pension, anything like that. So this is why this conversation is extremely important. So there's a saying: when white America catches a cold financially, black America catches pneumonia. There is a retirement crisis going on in America, and most African Americans are not even aware of it. The baby boomer generation, that's people that were born around 1945 to about 1964, something like that, began retiring earlier this decade. And the expectation is roughly 10,000 baby boomers will exit the workforce each day, not each year, each day between now and the year 2030. Of that 10,000, 10% of them, so 1,000 of them will be African Americans a day, which will be leaving the workforce going into retirement. So out of 30% of baby boomers responded that they stopped contributing to company retirement accounts, an estimated about 16% also took premature withdrawals. You will get hit with penalties for that. And seniors are living longer than ever. My grandmother, the other day on Sunday, she just turned 95. Literally just turned 95 years old. She still is okay. She still can walk around. Her mind is all there. She's sharp as a tack. And she just turned 95 years old. So seniors are living longer than ever. The average 60-year-old will live another 21 years on average, meaning baby boomers have to contend with making their money or lack thereof stretch even further and further. So even though some blacks are earning some money, too few are executing strategies to help build wealth, such as savings, eliminating debt, increasing income streams, creating a retirement plan, and building an estate for the next generation. According to a recent report from AARP, African Americans worried about their retirement future should focus on reading business articles, attend financial seminars or online seminars like this one right here that you're going to get for free 99. This brother charges hundreds of dollars for his hourly fee, but we got him here because he's my good brother. You should find a financial mentor or work with a retirement advisor or a certified financial coach to help establishing a plan that will attract a lot more income, assets, and wealth. So without further ado, I want to welcome Douglas Bus Barnes, certified financial coach from blackandretired.com. How you doing today, my brother?
Hey, I like to say I'm doing blacktastic, my brother.
Okay. Great. I'm so glad to have you here. Before we even get into everything, just give people a brief background on who you are, where you're from, what your company is, and all the amazing things you do.
Okay, well, once again, my name is Douglas Bus Barnes. I'm a certified retirement coach / advisor. I'm located here in Houston, Texas, and we help retired and pre-retired African Americans to prepare for retirement with confidence by simplifying the process. Now, we offer helpful retirement solutions through videos, podcasts, webinars, ebooks, and one-on-one coaching. We do this because we want to basically empower and help African American young people, middle-aged folks, and senior citizens to basically live a long and prosperous life without going broke. Now, just like farmers insurance, we know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two. Okay. Now, we don't claim to know all there is about retirement. That's why we surround ourselves with advisors that do. Okay. Our company goal is to make a difference by basically changing the face of retirement in the Black communities all across America and helping our people to determine their biggest challenges at retirement and how to best overcome them. And before we get started, one thing I want to say, just like what Ryan talked about, we are in right now a retirement crisis, and a lot of Black people just are not prepared. So here's the deal, guys. With all the corruption, the lies, the government shutdowns that's going on in the White House, got to keep in mind, guys, we are not in a regular or normal government today. We are in a Donald Trump government. Okay. So all the things that are going on today, are you really prepared to make it on your own? Or are you really sitting back to thinking that, well, this government is going to take care of me? Yeah. Okay, good.
Yeah, all right, bro. I'm glad you said that because we definitely have to recognize that. But please elaborate on that.
Well, basically, there are some certain things that basically are stopping a lot of us in retirement. That are kind of slowing us down, and are going to hurt us as we go into retirement. First of all, we got Wall Street. Stock market crash is imminent, guys. It's not a matter of whether or not it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's a matter of when. Okay. Another thing we have to look at is Uncle Sam and the taxes. Okay. And let me tell you guys something right now. Uncle Sam is really not your uncle. Okay.
If you didn't know already.
Already. Okay. Other thing that we have is Social Security. Now, we all know that Social Security is in a lot of trouble. And like Ryan said earlier, it may not be here when a lot of us expect it to be there. So we definitely cannot depend upon that. Another thing is pensions. Pensions are being cut like crazy. A lot of times, I have a family member who worked for a factory. Mm-hmm. That factory was bought out by another company. Okay. When that company came in and bought out his company, they raided the retirement, the pension fund. And so his pension was cut by about 60%.
Wow,
okay.
Really?
Oh, yeah, he took a heavy cut, and there's really not much you can do about it. The final thing that we have to worry about is inflation. Okay. So in other words, that $100 worth of goods that you're buying right now in 2030, you're only going to be able to buy $80 worth of stuff. Keep that in mind. Okay. Here's another thing. According to insurance industry statistics, out of 100 people that retire today, only one is going to retire wealthy. Wow. 4 out of that 100 are going to retire financially independent. 15 out of that 100 are going to retire with some savings set aside. The other 80 are going to be dependent upon a company pension, Social Security. They will still be working, or they will be broke. All this after a lifetime of working in the richest country in the world. Okay. And a lot of us are wondering, how in the heck does that happen? Okay.
Absolutely. So if someone's listening to this and they're saying, wow, that's me, the first thing is identifying if that is you or not. So what is a good retirement plan, and when should someone get started?
Well, let me answer the last part of that question first, because my clients ask me, so when should I get started with my retirement plan? Well, the best time to get started with a retirement plan is when you don't have one.
Yeah, okay. Exactly.
Okay, so a lot of us, I say we've been taught that if you got a company pension, if you got Social Security, or you got an IRA, or you got maybe some insurance, that man, you're good, you're covered. Don't believe that, guys. Okay, don't believe that. So what we do is we discuss a 7-step retirement process in my company that covers talking about paying off your debts. We're talking about insurance. We're talking about savings. We're talking about investing. We're talking about tax planning. We're talking about building your net worth. Okay. and things of that nature. And what I like to give your listener today also is what I call a 10-10-10-70 strategy. And here's how it works. The first 10% of your income you should pay yourself. I don't know if you guys ever heard of the book. It's called, it's by George Clason. And what is the name of that book? Do you recall, brother?
By who? Who's the author?
George Clason. It's the richest man in the world. So I think is the name of the book.
Richest man in Babylon? No, not the richest man in Babylon.
That's exactly it. Richest man in Babylon. And what he talks about is, a part of all we earn should be ours to keep. So what I'm saying is, 10% of the money that you make is your money, and you should basically pay yourself first. Pay yourself before you pay any of your bills, before you pay off your mortgage, anything. Pay yourself first. That other 10% you can tithe if you like. You're going to give to your favorite charity. You want to give to your favorite church, you got 10% you can give to that. The other 10% you should invest, okay, and stocks, mutual funds, things of that nature. The 70% you should try to live off of. That 70%. I know a lot of you are saying, man, I can't do that. I got too many bills. I can't do that. Well, then if you can't do the 10-10-10, then do a 1-1-1-97. Okay.
Right.
You got to start somewhere, guys, even if it's only $1 a day. Okay.
Absolutely. And guys, if you're just tuning in, I'm talking with Douglas Bus Barnes. He is a certified retirement coach. He is the CEO of blackandretire.com. He's going to tell you how you can, meet with him directly. If you want to talk to him offline about your goals, he's definitely going to share that information for you. I strongly suggest you getting a consultation with him. If you don't know me, I'm Ryan McCrary. I'm also the author of my brand new book, Mind Over Money. Mind Over Money. You can get a free copy at mindovermoneybook.com. That's mindovermoneybook.com. So let me just check the comments before we go in. So we got Derek in here. He said, okay, I'm watching this presentation on replay. I'm at work, rocking the shirt you sent me. Yes, absolutely. Edward says, how can I get my business off the ground? Feel free to, you can email me or message me. You can message me at customer service at McCraryFinancialSolutions.com. That's customer service at McCraryFinancialSolutions.com. And then Amber says she just tuned in. She's catching up from the replay. Okay, great. So what are the 4 forces working against you at retirement time?
Well, that's some of the things that I mentioned. Like I said earlier, I talked about Wall Street. The stock market's going to crash. We talked about Uncle Sam and the taxes. We talked about Social Security, which is really in trouble. We talked about pensions, which are being cut by 50%, and we also talk about the inflation. So those are the main forces that are working against you as you try to retire. Okay, so the thing that you want to do is make sure that you're ahead of the game, a step ahead of the game. Let me go over something with you, Ryan, because one of my main hobbies is I study wealthy people. Okay, so what I like to tell you is the 5 ways that millionaires are made in this country. 5 ways millionaires in this country. That's what I think even the guy that started his own business would be interested in. Okay. Number 1, top of the list, top of the hit parade is self-owned businesses. People that start self-owned businesses make up 74% of the millionaires in this country. 74%. Wow. Okay. Number 2 is senior executives at major corporations. These guys make big salaries. They invest their money. They get the stock options, things of that nature. And as an example, Lee Iacocca of Chrysler was once given a $26.5 million bonus. Okay.
Really? Wow.
So because he turned the company around. It's kind of hard not to be a millionaire when you're making that kind of money.
Exactly.
Number 3 is doctors, lawyers, and other professionals. And the 5% that make the high salaries make 10 to 20% more than the other doctors and lawyers out there. Okay. So that's a 10%. Then we've got the 5% is salesmen and salespeople. Most of these guys never went to college. They never got degrees. They just have a gift for gab, and they're able to convince people very well. And some of these guys have become millionaires selling their products or their services. So there you go. 74% self-owned businesses, 10% senior executives at major corporations, 10% doctors, lawyers, and other professionals, 5% salespeople. That's 99% of the millionaires in this country. Now you may be asking yourself, well, what is that other 1%?
Yep.
That other 1% is made up of guys that are come up with inventions. It's made up of people that are in show business. It's made up of our athletes. It's made up of people that inherited money, and it's made up of people that hit the lottery. But the thing is this: who do we see on TV all the time?
The entertainers.
1%. I thought I'd throw that out. I thought it'd be interesting for your listeners to listen to.
Yeah, that's interesting. And now, I also, before we even move on, I also want you to explain exactly what it means to be a millionaire. Because when we were in Atlanta at that event, and Alfred Edmond Jr., I believe he said, or Dr. Kimbrough was saying, a lot of people misinterpret what it means to be an actual millionaire. Like if you have a salary that's $1 million a year, you're not a millionaire. You know what I mean? If you have a business, that does $1 million a year, that doesn't mean you're a millionaire. You know what I mean? Your salary may be $1 million, but after taxes, take home after debt and bills and paying your mortgage, what's left over is not $1 million. So can you explain like exactly what it means to be a millionaire? And it's interesting because just 2 weeks ago on Instagram, Alfred Edmond Jr. put a post up. He said, most of the people that claim to be millionaires are not millionaires. Check the receipts. Because I don't know if you've seen this, Douglas, if you've seen this story that went out 2 weeks ago of some 20-year-old girl that they said now was a quote unquote millionaire from her business, some like lip gloss or it might have been natural hair care or something. They're saying, oh, Forbes just did an article on this 20-year-old millionaire. She's now a millionaire. She's doing all these interviews and she's in all these magazines. And he was saying, most of the people you see are not actually millionaires. So explain to people what exactly a millionaire is, because a lot of people misinterpret that.
Well, here's the way I learned. There's 3 different types of millionaires out there. The first millionaire is a person that's got $1 million.
Exactly.
That's not a millionaire. He's got $1 million. Okay. Another definition for millionaire is a person that has $1 million worth of assets. Okay. Mm-hmm. Based on what I've learned, $1 million worth of assets, and he can prove those assets and actually
after the expenses, the liabilities, whatever.
Right. Taxes taken out. And the other person is a person that has $1 million in net worth. Okay, $1 million in net worth, which is actually equal to your assets minus your liabilities. So those are the 3 different types of millionaires that I've learned about and I've studied. Okay, but I say the main one is the guys that got at least have $1 million that they can put their hands on.
Exactly.
Okay? Most of them don't, even though here's the way I learned it. Millionaires keep score by their bank accounts.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was in the Wealth Choice.
Yes, it was choice.
I remember reading that.
Yeah, middle class people keep score by their degrees and their titles. Okay. Poor folks keep score by their cars, their clothes, and let me say also their bling bling. Okay.
Absolutely. So guys, I hope you guys are listening. We got a few people jumping on. If you're just jumping on, I'm talking with Douglas Barnes. He's a certified retirement coach. Please drop a comment in. If you watch this on replay, type replay in. If you just jumped on, please give us your name, where you are from, and what you do. If you have a business, put that name of the business. If you have a link to your company, your website, your online store, put that down there. Now, before we even go on, let people know just right now, before we even get to the end, how people can get in touch with you, schedule an appointment with you, or speak with you, offline, if they want to talk to you further.
Okay. My website is named blackandretired.com. So www.blackandretired.com. Okay. So what I'm doing right now, just for your listeners, I'm offering a 20 to 25% discount on my one-on-one coaching. Okay. Not only that, guys, I got some other special gifts. Here's what I'm offering your people. Okay. Several ebooks. One of them is Rich Dad Secrets. Okay. It's a condensed workbook by Robert Kiyosaki. I'm also offering to your people that's listening, The Secret to Attracting Money by Joe Vitale. In addition, I'm offering the Ultimate Goals Program, okay, by Brian Tracy. And for those of you people that don't like to read And we know what they say. If you want to keep information from a black man, put it in a book.
Right.
So for you guys that don't like to read, I'm also sending you the audio programs for each of these books that you can have in addition. Okay. And here's something else I'm offering. You know, I once heard this, I saw this quote in a book, and it says that there are certain laws that govern the acquisition of riches. Once those laws are mastered and applied, riches follow with mathematical certainty. This was a quote written by a guy by the name of Robert Russell in 1950 in his book, You Too Can Be Prosperous. Now, the first time I looked at that, and I said, laws, what laws are they talking about? I don't know anything about any laws. Okay. Oh, so I started doing some research, okay, and I found out there are hundreds of these laws, okay, but here's what I like to do for your people. If anybody would just send me an email to retirenow@blackandretired.com. Once again, my email address is retirenow@blackandretired.com. I'm going to send you 21 of those laws, and they're called the 21 absolutely unbreakable laws of money. Once again, the 21 absolutely unbreakable laws of money. Just send me in the heading of the subject matter, just type in laws and send it to retirenow@blackandretired.com.
Okay, so all y'all watching, please, someone please type that in. Go to blackandretired.com. He's giving you 25% off a consultation. He's giving you Rich Dad secrets. He's giving you secrets to attracting money. He's also going to give you an Ultimate Goals program. And then he's also going to give you a whole bunch of other bonuses, so many of them. Make sure you send an email to retirenow@blackandretired.com. That's retirenow@blackandretired.com. Someone please, if you could, type it in the chat. Send him an email, go to his website. Make sure you tell him you watched him on this program. Make sure you tell him you came from, my channel, so you can get that discount. Because if you don't mention my name, you're not getting these bonuses. You're not getting these discounts. So that's why we have him coming through here today. That's why I thank you so much. So let us continue on. So
one thing I wanted to mention, right? Also, when they go into my webpage at www.blackandretired.com, click on the link at the top of the page that says free retirement consultation. On that link, okay, and it'll come to me, and it's just 4 or 5 simple questions that I ask you, your name and things of that nature, age, why you want to, what's some of the problems you're having about retirement. Get that information to me, and basically what I'm offering is a free half-hour retirement consultation, free consultation, along with these other materials that I'm giving. Okay.
So that's free. So that's free. You guys have nothing to lose. And the best investment, I always say, because people always say, what's the best investment? Should I invest in stocks? Should I invest in bonds or mutual funds or my business? I'm like, the number one best investment is yourself.
Yes.
That's what you have to start with. So this is investing in yourself, investing in your knowledge and your training, and investing in other people to teach you what most of us don't know or didn't know growing up. So that leads to my next question. This is amazing information. We need people like you out here, especially in our community. So I guess what made you get into this? What made you want to, become a retirement coach? What made you want to, invest and build wealth for yourself and stuff like that? Because most of the other people out here aren't like you. So what sets you apart from most other people?
That's a great question, Ryan. And here's the deal. Several years ago, I decided that, I wanted to retire early. Okay, so I said, well, okay, what I'm gonna do? The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go down to the Social Security office. Social Security, go down there and see what that's like. Man, when I went down there, it was a madhouse. Okay, first of all, I had to park like 2 blocks away from the building. There were no parking spaces.
That's how you know.
Okay, so then when I came up there, there was a line, and it was about 100 people in line coming outside the building. So I'm wondering, what the heck is going on here? So I said, well, I'm not waiting in this line, so I went right up to the door. Okay, so when I went up to the door, there was this big black a police officer, he's about 6'8", about 300 pounds. And when I opened up the door, he looked at me and he said, can I help you? so I had to think of something real quick. So I said, well, I just came to pick up some brochures, all the time. So he said, the brochures are right over there on that bookcase. You go pick up one and you come right back over here. I said, yes, sir. Okay. So then I go in there, and when I pick up the brochure, as I'm walking out, as I turned around, I looked, and man, there were at least 200 people in this building. Okay, 150 of them were sitting in chairs. The rest of them were lined up like at a bank teller, lined up. And the lady came over. Another policeman was there. She came over with announcements and the intercom, and she said, "Ladies and gentlemen, you do not have to come here to file for Social Security. You can do it online." So I looked out there and I said, "What are all these people doing in here?" And so then I looked out there and I saw one of my friends, and I looked at him, I waved at him, and I'm thinking, what is he doing here? So I left the building. And so later on that evening, of course, I called him and I said, "Man, what were you doing in there?" He said, "Well, man, I figured I had to go there to file for Social Security." I said, "Well, didn't you hear the lady say that you could do it online?" He said, "Well, yeah, but I was kind of scared that I was going to mess up, so I didn't want to do it." I said, "Well, why didn't you have your daughter do it?" Yeah. I don't know how I thought about that, So then I said, "Well, what happened?" He said, "Well, I had an appointment at 8 o'clock. I didn't get out of there till 4:30. So when I went through that, I said, there's got to be a better way to do this. So what I did was I started doing some research on retirement. Of course, I did mine online. Okay. I wasn't going to that mess. I did mine online. And for those of you that decide you still want to go, here's some advice for you. Go on a rainy day or go in the evening when the line is not that long. Okay. But yeah, so after that, I decided, maybe there's an easy way to do this because, I started thinking of a business. What can I do to help these people? And here's what I learned entrepreneur does. An entrepreneur takes an idea, creates a business around that idea, manages that business, and was willing to take any risk for the success and lose all that he possessed to make that business work. And that's what I did. I started that business. I took the training. I started taking college classes on retirement. I started going to seminars. Brother, I started taking in information like I was, drinking water out of a fire hose. That's how I was getting it in. So, and that's basically how my business got started.
Oh, that's a great, amazing story. We need more people like you in our community, especially like entrepreneurship. I'm passionate about that. So, I'm the same way. As soon as I dove into entrepreneurship, I literally read everything, podcasts, trainings, online webinars, offline webinars, all that stuff. And I actually enjoyed it. So now let's talk about, the importance of like having a will and, estate planning. I don't know, if that's exactly your area of expertise, because what's interesting to me is Aretha Franklin just passed away.
Yes.
When she passed away, her net worth was $80 million.
Yes.
Now, and then I heard a week or two ago, whatever, that she did not have a will. She didn't have a trust, all that. So please explain to our listeners, our viewers, the importance of having a will, especially when you have that kind of money. If if you're worth $500,000, get a will and stuff like that. But if you're worth $80 million, you want 20, 30% of that going to the courts and to probate and to the government, stuff like that. If you can avoid it, please explain to our listeners the importance of having a will or a trust or estate planning, all that type of stuff.
Right. It's extremely important, right? Extremely important. And a lot of us don't realize that. But let me, first of all, explain the different ways that you can do a will. Okay. You can do a handwritten will. That's number one. Okay. Or number two is you can go get some software and do the will. Number three is you can go online, to LegalZoom or one of those other companies and get a will started. Another thing that you can do is you can have your personal attorney set up a will for you. And the final and best thing is you have a certified estate attorney to put that will together for you. So a will is extremely important because once you pass, look at what happened with Aretha Franklin. Now the courts are going to determine what happens with her money. Okay, so what's even better than a will is you want to prevent a probate. So there's other things that you can do because her money is going to probate. So the money's all screwed up. Here's what happens in a lot of black families. Somebody in the family dies, okay, and then there's a big fight. Who's going to get the car? Who's going to get the house? Should we sell the house? Should we keep the house? Should we rent the house out? Who's going to get the money? Now, fortunately for me, I came from a very poor family. My parents never owned a house. We never owned a car. We walked everywhere, caught the bus. And I believe that's why my nickname was Bus, because we caught the bus. Okay, so So I've come a long way. Another thing is, I remember when I was young, I told all my friends and family that one day I was going to travel the world. Of course, they all laughed at me. Now that I've been to over 20 different countries, now they call me and they ask me, where you going next? Okay. So like I say, once again, it's very important to have a will and actually an estate plan, because if you have an estate, you really want somebody to know how to distribute the money and how to distribute the assets that you have. And if you don't have anybody taking care of that, then you're screwed. Now here's another thing I've learned is that a will in certain states, a will is not a will unless a judge approves it. So here's what I have. My attorney, who's one of my best friends, is also a judge. So of course, I'm covered. Okay, so I don't have anything to worry about. But once again, it's extremely important to have a will, and most Black folks don't have them.
Absolutely, man. Extremely important. And what you just said last, makes me think of something else. The importance of just networking and having a great circle and having those connections, the judges or the lawyers or the doctors or the other entrepreneurs and stuff like that. So, talk about that, I guess, just a little bit, especially, when you want to become a millionaire, when you want to get wealthy, the importance of building those relationships.
Oh, absolutely, brother. Absolutely. Here's the deal with me, brother. Like I said, I came from a poor family. I didn't have any money. I was struggling, and I thought people here were really struggling until I went over to Africa and I saw how some of the shady girls.
Yeah. I thought in the hood, like if you in the hood, but you got Jordans on, you ain't really poor.
That's right.
But you got an iPhone, you ain't really poor.
Yep. So the people I saw over in the shanty towns, the people who live here in the projects, they live like kings and queens.
Sure.
Okay, kings and queens. So the thing is you've got to build that network. And here's what I did. So I started joining some organizations, okay, like the 100 Black Men, the Houston Black Business Council, things of that nature. And here's what happened, brother. I started seeing these wealthy people at these things, and I said, I'm going to meet some of these people. So what I did was I made it my goal to meet some of these people. So I asked them, I said, man, a woman, lady, what are you doing in retirement that I'm not doing? They told me. I wrote it down and I started doing those things. Okay. So one of the things I offer my clients is the 14 strategies to retirement success that I learned from millionaires, that I learned from going to these seminars, that I learned from taking college classes on retirement. I pass that information on to my clients.
Absolutely. That's great information. So again, guys, if you're just tuning in, I'm talking to Douglas Barnes. He is the CEO of blackandretired.com. You can check out his website at blackandretired.com and also email him. Email him at retirenow@blackandretired.com. That's retirednow@blackandretired.com. And just for everyone listening, just for everyone to listen, just for my tribe, he's giving 25% off his consulting fee. You can actually get a free consultation by going to his website. And you're also going to get, I think, about 3 or 4 other bonuses along with that. This is just for you guys. This is not for anybody else. Let me take the comments real quick. So we got my man, Derek. He said, I've had a will in place since at least 1999. Even growing up poor in Mississippi, my daddy said, always have a will. Yes, always have a will. Don't be like Aretha Franklin. Don't, rest in peace, of course, no disrespect to the queen. Don't be like Prince and stuff like that. You got to have a will. You got to have a trust. You got to properly estate plan. And another thing, you got to have life insurance. Got to have life insurance. When you kick the bucket, it's going to happen for everybody. You don't want to be doing the fish fry. You don't want to be throwing the collection plate around. You want to plan for retirement or plan for death now. Now, another thing I want to talk about, to go off subject just a tad, I want to talk about this. I want to talk about this book because you dropped some jewels on me. Like I said, I met this brother back in June in Atlanta. Feels like I've known him all my life, but seriously, I feel like we've been friends forever. We've talked previously before that, but we actually got to meet and sit down, break bread. And he gave me this book. He gave me this book called Black Fortunes. Of course, read my book first. After you read my book, read this book, Black Fortunes. It's about the story of the first 6 African Americans who escaped slavery and became millionaires. You think Madam C.J. Walker is the first Black female millionaire. That is not true. She actually learned from another one who became a millionaire before her. But just tell people a little bit about this book because you really dropped some jewels on me with this. It was some great information that I didn't even know existed. So please, if you could just talk about that book just a little bit.
Okay. Well, like you said earlier, Madam C.J. Walker was not the first Black millionaire. But see, we've been getting our history from our oppressors. Okay, so our oppressors can tell us whatever they want to tell us, and for a while we believed it. But now we got the internet and other things, so we can get this knowledge. Okay, but the thing is, there's a lady in St. Louis named Annie Turnbull Malone.
Yep.
Annie Turnbull Malone was a lady that taught Madam C.J. Walker the hair care business. Okay. And Madam C.J. Walker was a distributor for her, just like, Mary Kay or whatever that other
Avon.
And Mary Avon, so distributors. See, the same thing. So what happened with her was she moved down to Denver to start a business, and she was with this guy named C.J. Walker.
Yep.
So C.J. Walker said, "Hey, we ain't got a sale for this lady out of St. Louis. We can start our own business," and that's what she did. And so her real name was Sarah Breedlove.
Yep.
She took C.J. Walker's name. They eventually split up because he was fooling around on her and she busted him. But the main reason why we know about Madam C.J. Walker is because based on my readings of her, she was kind of militant. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
And back in those days, you had money, you had to keep it kind of secret. You didn't want to exploit the fact that you had money because we know who was trying to take it away from you.
Exactly.
Okay. So so she was the one, she had the nice car, she had the nice clothes, she had a big mansion, and she would have entrepreneurs come to her mansion and also some people that were kind of militant. And so she established a reputation of having money and helping other people. But there were other people, I say, in front of her. There was a guy by the name of Robert Reed Church, who you know about, who was in Memphis, who was a millionaire. There was one of the ladies named, I think it's Harriet Elias, I believe is her name. She was a prostitute. Became a millionaire. Okay, and there were others. Mammy Pleasant. There were others that were out there, and this book talks about how they became millionaires, and it actually clears up a lot of the misconceptions and the lies that we've been told by our oppressors about who the first Black millionaires were. Here's something else I want to say, Ryan, something I learned. Rich folks believe that they can have their cake and eat it too.
Yep.
Middle class folks believe, well, cake is too rich, so I just want a little piece and be comfortable. Hey, poor folks don't believe they deserve cake, so they order a donut, focus on the whole, and then wonder why they ain't got nothing.
Absolutely. Okay. Absolutely. I agree with that 100%. So Derek says, rocking your shirt today. All right, Derek, thank you. Do me a favor, Derek, if you can take a picture and send it to me, email it to me, that would be greatly appreciated so I can post it. He rocking that Mind Over Money tee. Yes, we do have the apparel as well, not just the book. Apparel is now available. You can go to ourblackapparel.com for that. That's ourblackapparel.com for that. Okay, so let's move on. So
here's one thing I want to say, Ryan, because I know I must bring up this question before you even ask it, because a lot of before some of my clients become clients, one of the things I ask them is, what is your retirement plan?
Yeah.
And you know what they tell me? I had to chuckle. They said, well, I'm going to win the lottery.
Yeah. That's interesting because I was talking to a guy the other day and he was saying, I was like, what's your path to retirement or build wealth? He was like, hitting this lottery. I was like, huh?
So the first thing I asked him was, well, what's your plan B? And they tell me, I don't need a plan B. I'm going to win the lottery. So I give them some statistics, some odds. Okay. The odds of you making it into the NBA is 1 in 3,000. Okay, getting into the NBA. The odds of you getting struck by lightning is 1 in a million. The odds of you winning that Powerball lottery is 1 in 292 million. Read the fine print on your lottery ticket. Okay. The odds of you being successful in your own business, 1 in 10.
Wow, really?
Yes. Yes.
I like my chances with that. And another thing also, I mean, that brings up something else I think about, because if your plan is just to hit the lottery, okay, whatever, if that happens. But I forget the exact statistic, but it may be like 70 or 80% of the people who actually win the lottery are broke within the next 5 years, because
Yes.
number one, they don't understand money. They're not
Yes.
financially literate. You know what I mean? They don't, understand how the, wealth really works, and how to, it's not just about having a whole bunch of money. You have to change your habits. You have to change your belief pattern. You have to change your mindset. You have to change your actions. So even if you hit, $1 million or $2 million, if you don't have the proper knowledge, if you don't have the proper training, you're definitely going to be poor. You're definitely going to lose all that money. So that's why, of course, I'm a big advocate of financial literacy. And a lot of people think you have to have a lot of money to be financially literate. But you can make $10,000 a year, and if you manage it correctly, you can be okay. You can make 200,000 a year, but if you don't manage it correctly, you're definitely, not going to build wealth with it. You're not going to have your money work for you. You're not going to make smart financial decisions. So, I guess just any last words. We're almost out of time, but just any last words for people. Of course, remind people how they can get a hold of you, all the bonuses that you're offering, and just the last words, because end of the day, we want to help our community. I know this brother. He's a good person. He's passionate about helping our community, because we have a crisis. Whether you want to, believe it or not, whether you acknowledge it or not, we have a crisis. The statistic came out, and by the year 2053, black, the median, or the black household net worth is expected to be at zero. So
Yes.
within the next 30 some years, black household wealth is set to be at zero. With all the entertainers, with all the athletes, with all the actors, all the quote unquote social media influencers that you think have money, black family net worth is set to be at zero by 2053. But I don't hear many pastors talking about it. I don't hear many, politicians talking about it. I don't hear, that many community organizations talking about it, talking about Black Lives Matter, talking about this governor of Florida who's going to be the first black governor, which is great. But I don't hear anything talking about black Americans actually having wealth, actually having a solid economic base. So just the last words for the people, all the tips and everything, and again, everything that you're offering, all the bonuses.
Okay. Well, one thing I was going to say, as Black people, we're the only group that basically tried to get a political arena instead of an economic arena, and that has hurt us. That has hurt us. Okay. So I want to advise your listeners to, first of all, go to www.blackandretired.com and click on the free consultation link at the top of the page. I have a lot of information, a lot of strategies, and a lot of tips on what to do now that you're going into retirement, because a lot of us just don't know. A lot of Black people are just sitting around and waiting, and they're hoping that the government or Social Security or their family is going to take care of them. So in closing, let me give you guys some keys to success in money. Okay. Number one, I say, earn as much money as you can. Number one. Number two is, hold on to as much money as you can. Number three is reduce and control your cost of living as soon as you can. And finally, number four is invest carefully and make your money grow as fast as you can. Okay. So contact us again at www.blackandretired.com. Click on the free consultation link, and we'll be in touch with you as soon as possible.
Okay. We got one last question from Derek Williams. He says, what is Mr. Barnes' thoughts on cryptocurrency and the stock market? And he said he just left Houston. He was in Houston for a family reunion. But he said, what are your thoughts on cryptocurrency and the stock market?
And go online. I just saw something online just yesterday. I was on. I watched the Vice News. It was on Vice News, and it talked about the some of the ills of cryptocurrency. And I have a lot of friends that own those crypto coins, and they said that it may not be a good investment, and a lot of people, I guess, are getting ripped off by these things. I never got into them. But one of the things that I would suggest is, invest in mutual funds, index funds, and there's several things that you can invest into. Make sure you get into a non or tax-free investment, such as Roth IRAs. I'm really big on Roth IRAs. I also tell some of my clients about tax-free municipal bonds. And finally, I talked to him about insurance, permanent cash value life insurance. Check those things out. Okay. There's no taxes on those things, also try to contribute to your favorite charity as much as you can so you get your tax write-offs.
Yep. Yep. So I hope y'all taking notes. Get you a Roth IRA, get you some of those, he said, tax-free municipal bonds. There's also college plans, 529 college plans, which they operated kind of like Roth IRAs. Money goes in after tax, but then the account will grow tax deferred. And when you take the money out for your child's education, that will be a tax-free distribution as long as it's used for their education. Just like the Roth IRA, is used for retirement. You're over 59 and a half. You have the account 5 years, tax-free distribution. So again, make sure you go on blackandretire.com. blackandretire.com. Schedule your free consultation with Mr. Barnes. You're also going to get a number of bonuses. You're going to get, Rich Dad Secret. You're going to get, Secrets to Attracting Money. You're going to get a whole bunch of other bonuses because it's all about, getting into this culture. Wealth building, entrepreneurship. It's a culture. That's what I tell a lot of people. People think, building wealth is just about investing in the stock market, just about starting a business. It's more than that. It's a culture. It's about who you're around. It's about, your circle. It's about what you're doing on a daily basis. It's about what you're reading, what you're learning. If you're just watching TV all the time, it's going to be hard for you to be wealthy. I'm sorry. Cut the TV off. Pick a book up.
Here's one thing you said about, you talked about that culture and networking. Here's what I learned. Your income is going to be the average of your 5 best friends. So your friends, your 5 best friends, income, y'all average together is only $20,000-$25,000, and you want to make more. You got to go find you some new friends.
Exactly. That's why this is my friend. So we're going to close out with that. So again, go to blackandretire.com, blackandretire.com. You can also email him at retirenow@blackandretire.com. That's retirenow@blackandretire.com. I am Ryan McCrary. If you watch this on replay, do me a favor, type replay down, type your name, where you're from, and what your business is. You can get my best-selling book if you haven't got it already. We're over 500 copies sold in 2 months. You can go to mindovermoneybook.com. That's mindovermoneybook.com and schedule your time with Mr. Barnes. Go to blackandretire.com. That's blackandretire.com. And you can also email him. Email him at retirenow@blackandretire.com. That's retirenow@blackandretire.com. Everyone have an amazing day.